Thank you for listening to this PodcastOne Sportsnet production, available on Apple Podcasts and PodcastOne.
The following program is a PodcastOne.com production. He started in a small town in Texas. Worked his ass off to become one of the most famous wrestlers of all time.
We're going to take care of business tonight, and that's the bottom line.
And now he's dominating the world of on-demand audio. And he's doing it for the working man.
This is a damn good outlet for me to spew the bullshit off my brain.
Yeah! This is the Steve Austin Show. Unleashed.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Steve Austin Show. I am coming to you from the Broken Skull Ranch out here in South Texas, where we're down here hunting and working and having a good time and letting our hair down. I ain't got no hair to let down, but I'm having a good time. Right now, it's Ted Fowler 361, my wife Kristin, myself, and 5 dogs out here on the Broken Skull Ranch. Everything is going great, other than the fact we've had a few breakdowns with some of the equipment you'll hear about on today's podcast. Nonetheless, I'm going to do my opens, my close, my reads. I'm going to get out there on my Komodo tractor and get to work before this evening's hunt. Man, I tell you what, I got an interesting podcast for you today. I decided to do a podcast last night, Tuesday, as I speak today. And we had just got finished running a bunch of errands into San Antonio, my wife and I. And Ted Fowler and I had already decided that we were going to record on Tuesday night. So once we got back from the evening hunt, I told old Teddy, I said, hey, man, I said, you ready to do a podcast? And my wife, Kristin, says, are you guys sure you want to do a podcast? She says, I am so tired. And I said, well, we kind of need to do a podcast now because I've got some internet difficulties. I said, if we don't record a podcast now, I don't know how long it's going to take for me to send it, so I'd rather do one right now than wait for tomorrow and have the pressure on. So anyway, I decided what I'll do is hook up my splitter, run 3 microphones. I've got 2 6-foot cords and a 30-foot cord that I got from Sam Roberts when he came over to the house to do a podcast when I was running short on cables and left it behind so it conveyed to me. And we roll sound, so it's myself, Ted Fowler, 361, and my wife, talking about all kinds of bullshit and stupid things that happened during the day. Some of the stuff that's been going on out here at the ranch, fighting with these yellow jackets, dealing with traffic, shopping. I think it's a pretty goddamn funny podcast myself. And my wife actually cusses on the podcast. I tell you the truth, she was so tired towards the end of the podcast, I think she had a glass of sake. She might have had a little bit of a buzz. She was in rare form last night. Here she just comes walking around the corner. She was deliriously tired. How are you feeling today?
Much better.
She feels much better today. Oh, man, you were on fire last night. You had a great time.
It was funny.
But you didn't think you was going to be able to go. But, once you started telling your stories, it was fun.
Well, you're funny.
Well, we had a good time. Hey, I think you're going to enjoy the podcast today. I tell you what, man, headaches, hassles, and horse shit out here. My coolers are broke down. My storage containers for my deer are broke down. We'll talk about that in the podcast. And just, goddamn, man, this morning I went out. Well, let's talk about last night. I was out, and I was just riding the ranch, and I saw a hell of a damn deer, and he was about 800 yards away. And I was trying to look at him through my binoculars. I was riding around on my Kawasaki mule with Hershey and the Wonder Dog. She was in the back seat. And we just cruising around because I didn't want to get in a deer stand. You'll hear this story on the podcast, but you're not going to hear this story, so I'll keep telling you this one. And, man, I saw a really good deer. And I was videoing the deer. And, goddamn, it's a deer I'd never seen before. And he might be 7.5 years old. And got him located. It'll be interesting to see if I can ever see him again. So many times, I think this year I've seen 10 to 15 deer that I've never seen so far in my 9 years of ownership out here at the Broken Skull Ranch. Man, having a good time. Ted Fowler's been getting some pretty good pictures, pretty good videos of some deer. It's been interesting to see what's been going on in the college football stuff, man. A couple of hellacious games this past weekend. See what shakes out. We've got a couple of championship games coming up next week. So it will be interesting to see what happens with the college football playoff bracket as they go into the whatever, fucking, bowl games, matchups to play for the national championship. Been watching a little bit of pro football out here. Man, I tell you what, this year, college football has really kind of stolen the show from pro football, and I'm a big fan of both levels of football play, but the college season this year for me has been spectacular with the rise of the teams in the Big Ten. Of course, Ohio State, one of my favorite coaches, Urban Meyer over there, he's really picked that program up, and Jim Harbaugh, another guy I really like over in Michigan, and boy, it's nice to see Penn State kind of rise up from where they've been, and goddamn, Wisconsin's kicking ass. So you got a bunch of Big Ten teams in the top 10, and playoff pictures shaking up, potential matchups. Clemson's still kicking ass. So I've really enjoyed this year's college football season, but I'm really happy that I'm down here at the Broken Skull Ranch. I was just talking to Stacy, my producer, about the show that I just turned into her last night on the internet, mailed it to her, and I told her, I said, finally you get out of Los Angeles and you're ready to get out of Los Angeles, but you're in your routine. My wife goes to Zumba. She goes to work out. I go to my gym. I do my thing. And all of a sudden you get out here at the ranch. It takes you about 7 to 10 days to acclimate to a different schedule. So I think I finally started to do that out here at the ranch. Get up every morning, go hunt. I've taken about 3 or 4 weeks off of training. Just got to let my body heal up a little bit. I'll start training tomorrow morning again, ease back into it, do some full body workouts. Don't want to push the envelope too hard, too fast. Got about 6 more weeks out here. By the time I get back to Los Angeles, I'll be in pretty good shape. I think I'm going to burn it down a couple more nights with Ted Fowler, having a few cocktails before dinner and just shooting the breeze. I think what I'm going to start doing while I'm out here is every time when me and Ted come out of a deer stand, it's like we'll meet up, whether it's at his place, my place, or out at the barn by the Kawasaki mules, or by the cleaning station. What'd you see? And it's kind of interesting because you kind of just go through a debriefing of what you saw, or when whatever you saw came out, what it did, hogs, coyotes, deer, bucks, all kinds of crazy shit that happens out here. So I think I'm going to start recording some of those to put together for a compilation type, hey, what'd you see type podcast. Maybe we'll get some pretty good shit out of that. But nonetheless, hey, man, I'm going to go ahead and take care of some business here, fire up my computer, and do some business because we've got to take care of the sponsors and keep his podcast on the air for free. And once again, before I get into the business, I want to thank everybody from the UK, Scotland, Ireland, I don't know how many other countries. If you guys are watching the show over there and you're digging it, I've been getting lots of tweets on Steve Austin BSR, or you can send me an email to questions@steveaustonshow.com. I'm so proud that you guys have really been digging the show. Thank you so much for the compliments. I can only answer so many of the people on Twitter and send back so many emails because I type with 2 fingers. And I'm really busy out here trying to get work done. But just the fact that you guys have endorsed and embraced and supported the show so much, I just want to say thank you very much because I appreciate it, and I'm proud to be over there. And I'm really proud that you're digging the show. And if you're over here in the United States right now watching season 4, every Sunday night, 10/9 Central, keep watching this damn show because it's going to build up. The last 2 episodes are going to blow your doors off. I'll guarantee that. But before we get into the podcast with myself, Ted, and Kristin, I got to take care of one more sponsor who also happens to be a close personal friend of mine, Diamond Dallas Page and DDPY. Dallas has changed thousands of lives with his DDPY program. And I don't mean the pro wrestlers who love it like Jake the Snake, RVD, Kane, and Mick Foley. I mean all the people all over the globe who just want to live a healthier life. And DDPY can do the same for you. And since it's the holidays, DDPY is offering the biggest sale ever on DDPY. You can get 25% off all DDPY swag, t-shirts, hats, mats, heart rate monitors, and even autographs. And of course, you can get 25% off the DDPY program itself and the app which means you can do DDPY right from your phone or tablet. So if you've been thinking about taking control of your own health and fitness going into the new year, now's the time to do it. Take advantage of the 25% off deal at ddpyoga.com/Austin. That's ddpyoga.com/Austin. It's DDPY's biggest sell ever, to go along with Dallas's big love of the holidays. That guy must have over 100 Santa figures at his place down in Atlanta, GA. He's also got a holiday train that runs through his house. So he's spreading his holiday spirit by giving you 25% off DDPY and all DDPY swag. And hey, forgot to tell you one other thing. When you buy the DDPY DVDs for 25% off, you'll also get 3 free months of the DDPY app. And the app has a lot more than just the workouts on it. By connecting to a Bluetooth heart rate monitor, you can track your calories and heart rate in real time. You can track your pain measurements and progress photos too, all for free in the app. So take advantage of the biggest DDPY sale ever. Get 25% off all DDPY merch, from the DDPY DVDs to the app to the swag. Just go to ddpyoga.com/Austin. That's ddpyoga.com/Austin. Commit now. Change your life now. Go to ddpyoga.com/Austin to get started. And before I get into the body of the podcast, don't forget, we got a Black Friday sale over at ProWrestlingTees.com/Steve Austin, BrokenSkullRanch.com. Just click on the merch page. Black Friday sale through the holidays. Everything 20% off.
Steve Austin, Unleashed.
I'm sitting at the Broken Skull Ranch. Well, I'm actually standing, rubbing on Hershey the Wonder Dog. She's had a tough day, waiting on us to return. My wife and I ran into town today. When I say town, we ran into San Antonio, 90 miles away, in our SUV to go get groceries and get a bunch of shit, because we need some stuff out of here. Ted Fowler, 361, sitting behind me, got a microphone in his hand. And, of course, my illustrious wife, Kristin, got a microphone in her hand. How are you, Kristin?
Not by choice.
Well, she's been sitting beside me all day long. God damn it, Teddy, we're trying to haul ass into town.
That's why
no deal.
That's why you gave her the mic with a 30-foot cord. So
Courtesy of Sam Roberts. Sam Roberts bought that cord when he came over to the house to do a podcast. I said, God damn, what do you do with the 30-foot cord? Now I know.
Well,
I'm out of harm's way.
I was texting Ted. I said, we're on the county road. He said, go, go, go. I said, yeah, we're going. It's 100 miles an hour we're going.
Goddamn, Kristen says, Steve, would you slow down? You're going too fast. I said, well, goddamn. I said, there was a Ford F-150 running front door for me, and he was going, shit, probably 100. I was going 95. I said, I got a front door. I'm running radar. I said, what's up?
Hammer down.
Yeah, I mean, said, fuck. I mean, he's going to eat the ticket. I mean, that damn radar detector I got some bad son of a bitch. So
I'm not worried about the ticket. I'm worried about my safety.
And I just told her, I said, God damn, we just put a new pair of tires on it, or 4 new tires on this motherfucker. Hey, man, when you put the fucking tires and fucking low-profile, high-performance tires on a BMW, what do those things cost, $400 a piece?
Yeah, and we have to go fast?
$1,600 for a goddamn set of tires? I'm going to get my money's worth out of those cocksuckers. She's the one that's always driving the summits around L.A. If I get that summits on the highways of Texas, I'm going to tear ass.
That's why you buy the expensive, low-profile tires, so you can haul ass in them. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I don't know if they're worth the fuck when it rains or not, but it was dry pavement and shit. We had stuff to do. So, I mean, I had to hammer down.
We had stuff to do.
And here's what I wanted to say, Kristin. Right when we pulled in the damn gate, I was going to say, once again, I have delivered my princess safe to her destination. We've been doing this shit for 12 years. How long we've been together. Have I ever failed or faltered?
Do I have extra gray hair because of it, though?
Have I ever failed or faltered to deliver you or take you to your destination?
Well, the one time we got the blowout in the RV.
Oh, now Teddy? Teddy's a special guest referee.
Yeah, but you wanted to buy that RV. I did not.
Oh, okay, so she's not going to blame the tire malfunction on me, but she's going to blame the fact that it was me that wanted the RV. And so so by proxy, the blowout at 70 miles per hour outside of Ozona, where you had just gotten up to go check on the dogs, and I'm sitting there, the tire blows out, I'm in the right lane, gets jerked across the left lane into that median between I-10 and west and east, and I'm thinking, God damn, I really thought this, and things, every time the shit has always hit the fan with me, Ted, I always start thinking in slow motion. People say your whole life flashes in front of your eyes. Not for me. I always think, God damn, are you shitting me? We're going to fucking die. Me, my wife, and our dogs on the middle of I-10 East West, right there outside of Ozona. And then, goddamn, that sturdy son of a bitch, good handling. I just steered her on in, hit the brakes, and it rattled both of us. But you can't blame a blowout on me.
If anything, you ought to commend him for his stellar driving performance in keeping you safe under such uncontrollable adverse conditions.
Ted, the words you speak now are as true now as they were 500 years ago. Whatever the fuck that means.
No dinner for Ted tonight.
God damn it.
I'm drinking my dinner.
Kristin made Reuben sandwiches last night.
Not by choice, but because we had nothing else in the refrigerator.
So we were sitting here watching TV, eating sandwiches, and Kristin says, Teddy, you want one more sandwich? And Teddy says, I'll take a half. And I just ate a sandwich before I went out and cleaned the deer, so I wasn't really hungry.
You were starving.
So I took the other half of the sandwich off Ted's plate and put it in the microwave for future use. And goddamn, right before I went to bed, I ate about half that sumbitch. I don't know where I was going with this story.
I don't know, but I looked in the microwave today and I saw the eaten half Reuben sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, I bit into that cocksucker last night when it first hit my plate, and it was so hot it made my eyes water. Because I was starving.
Got off the griddle, Teddy.
Teddy, when it comes off a skillet, goddamn, you got to put that sumbitch on.
The steam should be a tip-off.
Were you going to talk about the story of us ordering breakfast tacos this morning,
that's where I was leading to, because I was going to have the other quarter of that sandwich for breakfast. And I said, no, fuck it, we're going to Pleasanton to go to Cancun. When we go through Pleasanton to go to San Antonio to get groceries, our favorite Mexican food restaurant is Cancun.
I think it's considered Jordanton, but...
It's Jordanton, okay, but there's two of them there. We like the one that's off 97.
Yeah.
And so anyways, just down this road, not too far from the Walmart. And we go through the drive-in window, the drive-thru window, and start ordering our food. And since I'm in the driver's seat, it's easier for me because I'm right there by the speaker.
Right.
It's hard for a passenger to just yell across and for the person inside to hear them. Because
I wanted to, though.
You've been to a lot of drive-thru places where the speaker system is real shitty.
But you don't know if it's shitty. Just because it's small doesn't mean it's shitty.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
You've been through a million drive-thrus where they don't know what the fuck you're saying. It sounds real tinny, and they fuck up your order. So,
well, I can honestly say I haven't been through a lot of drive-thrus.
Oh, well, I have. Teddy, yeah. Okay, now, Teddy, talk to me about the sound system. Sometimes it ain't so great when you're going through a drive-thru.
No, and as picky as I am with my food, I'll say fuck it and just drive up to the window and be like, you know what, we got to take technology out of play. Because if you give me the wrong shit, I'm going to be upset. So now that you're looking, in my face, I got a better than 50% chance of you not fucking up my order.
So I ask her what she wants. And, of course, we're talking about this before we get there. And I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get, a couple of chorizo and egg, breakfast tacos, a sausage and egg taco, and maybe a bacon and egg taco. Breakfast taco. And for you people who don't know what a breakfast taco is, it's some eggs and some sausage rolled in a flour tortilla, unless they do corn tortillas.
Yeah, and it's not technically a taco when you're from California. It's more like a burrito, but it's a taco here.
It's a breakfast taco for Texas speak.
Yeah.
And so Kristin says, well, I want to get egg whites and potatoes.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, first of all, we're in South Texas, motherfucker. You roll to a drive-through window and say, I want an egg white and potato breakfast taco.
Egg white, potato, and cheese.
Yeah, egg white, potato, and cheese. And I'm like, God damn. I said, really, you don't want to just eat like just a regular egg taco? Because I'm going to have a hard time ordering this motherfucker.
I order it, and they all listen to me.
Okay, but how did you say that you said egg white in Spanish?
I want Blanco, Huevos, Solo.
Blanco, Huevos, Solo. Now, I didn't say that, Teddy. My wife, she's been riding me about this.
I was laughing my ass off, Ted. Is this a...
Yeah, this is Unleashed.
Yeah, if I'm on it, it's Unleashed.
Okay, so Ted, we get to the drive-thru, and the funniest part about it is he rolls the window down, then he takes his hat off.
Makes better sound quality.
Then he takes his glasses off. He sticks his head out the window.
I got to get close to that microphone just like I'm close to this one. Hey, I'm a fucking podcaster. I'm a fucking pro, Kristin. Go ahead.
I see where you're going with it.
Then he starts screaming at the fucking, intercom. I want a potato, egg, and cheese. egg white and cheese. Do you have egg whites? And the lady's like, what? And before that, he's like, I want a sausage, egg, breakfast taco. Make that 2.
No, I said, I want a chorizo and egg breakfast taco. Now, see, all I did, Teddy, was enunciate my words.
That's all you got to do.
And like her impression, it makes me sound like a fucking idiot.
Well, that's
and I said, I want a sausage and egg breakfast taco. So make that 2 of them. And want a chorizo. I scratched the bacon because I'm on a diet. You can hear by the way I'm ordering. Well, where did I go wrong?
Yeah, but the lady didn't understand you, Steve, because you're yelling out the window and you're screaming at her. The whole restaurant heard your order.
She just kind of looked at me funny when I was doing it. And I know, like it's one of those deals where like, kind of like, she's looking, giving her co-workers the big eyes, like, what the fuck's this stupid motherfucker talking about out here? And why is he yelling? That's why there's a speaker system, so he doesn't have to yell in the window.
But the fact that you had to stick your whole head out there after you took your hat and glasses off, and then after she said, okay, I understand your order, Steve said, you know what? We have to go to the bathroom. We're going to park the car. Come in.
All that was for naught.
You go through the whole process, drive through a window seat because you're in a hurry. But I started thinking about it. I said, man, I got to piss. And so the girls in there are really nice because they see us all the time. We're in South Texas because we go by there. We support the Cancun restaurants. I said, you know what? Scratch that. We're going to come in and take a bathroom break. I didn't say, hey, I'm going to come in here and take a piss because that would have been,
Actually,
did I?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
We still want to talk to Scroll, but we're going to use your facilities.
I've been hitting it was on me steel chairs. I could just pissed on the side of the road. God damn. Anyway, it was, hey, how y'all doing?
Potato, egg, and cheese.
God damn it, man. We went into, okay, that's enough making fun of me ordering the damn breakfast tacos. So we go into HEB. No, we go to Nagel's Guns. I wanted to get a scope put on my 308, and I picked up a pistol just to play around with out here. So we did our business there, and then went over to the HEB to grocery up. And so I said, man, I'm coming with you. So do 2 grocery things, 2 baskets, and so we can spool up all our shit. And, of course, I'm like the dumb motherfucker, right? This is Unleashed. I'm like the reject, okay? Because, Kristin, she's a, her. She's a, like.
I'm a professional shopper.
Yeah, she can shop her ass off. Not for bullshit. I'm going to go in there, grab groceries, and get out quick. Yeah. And so I said, okay, what do you want me to do? And she said, water. What'd you tell me to do?
And meat.
Yeah, water and meat. Now you fuck that up.
You cannot.
No. So I go get 5 of those 2.5-gallon gimmick things and stick them underneath the basket. And then I go to the meat department where I'm loading up for you and me. Where I got like chicken thighs, chicken breast, and fucking ground turkey meat, 93.7, so she can make some meatloaf. And so that's all I had to do. Go get that. So I'm fucking pushing my damn shopping cart down the thing.
Follow me down the aisle.
And I'm just following her around like a lost puppy dog. Yeah. And then, you get these motherfuckers and they want to just lollygag around. I'm following Kristin. I'm about to have to go spend, I don't know how much a tire on a shopping cart cost, but I might have to replace these 4 motherfuckers because she's burning rubber on me, man. I'm trying to keep up with her. And you get these motherfuckers out there just leaning with their forearms on where you put your hands, and they're bent over, and they're just looking, or they'll stop. And I'm like, God damn, get the fuck out of the way. I got to do some shit.
When you go to the grocery store, it should be like driving down the highway. You know what I mean?
Right.
You should pick one side.
Head on a swivel.
Not right down the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're going...
Exactly.
Going one way, you're on the right, and the other traffic is on the left. Pick your side.
That whole lane was not made for you.
Yeah.
There's other motherfuckers that got coming and get their groceries too. See what I did there? But so we load up.
But I call it's like the Walking Dead shoppers. They lean onto their carts, and the cart pulls them along because they're kind of pushing, and it's just.
And you see how the walkers walk on, Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So what do you do, Kristin, when you get behind a shopper like that? Because you got things to do. I know Ted will go, on your left, or whatever.
Yeah, like we're skiing.
Ted will give me a heads up. So what do you do?
I just go around them.
That's it?
I just act like I'm in a big hurry. They usually can kind of tell that you're in a hurry.
Yeah.
You give them like, I'm in a
I
hurry
always
look.
get the people that don't have eyes behind their head and no peripheral vision. You know, it's like a quarterback in the pocket. You know, when they start to feel that sack coming on, they get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
I always get around to people that don't give a fuck. Just sack me.
Just take your shopping cart and slam it on the ground 3 times, and they'll probably get out of your way.
Shit.
So anyway, Kristin says we finally get all the groceries rounded up, probably a couple $100 worth, and we were sitting there in line, both of our baskets. Me with all the water. Well, I got two cans of protein. You know, I
saw that.
Of the protein.
Gotta have some protein.
There's more to this nutrition program that's coming right up. And so Kristin says, there's a liquor store right next door. She goes, why don't you go ahead and go get your liquor and come back? I said, sure, you want me to leave? You know, because I want my precious baby in there by herself. You know, I got to push this heavy cart.
I can pull and push 2 carts.
Yes, you can. So she told me to get the fuck over to the liquor store. So we didn't have to dilly-dally around. I could get back on the highway, drive 97, and get back to the ranch. So I go over there as I'm
And
walking.
make her other 14 stops. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I got to walk over to the liquor store, and it's only like 10 yards away. It's hooked on to the HEB. So I walk in. Right before I walk in, I said, man, I'm at the liquor store. We done bought Ted a bunch of groceries. I said, Ted, is there anything that you would require at the liquor store? Ted, would you provide your response?
I said I could go for another bottle of Jack Daniels.
I said, God damn. I said, you brought 3 half gallons down.
Dude, you said we were going at it like Romans for the first week.
You said, no, I left one of them back at the house. So Ted showed up with a gallon of whiskey. Now he's out. So he needs a half gallon more. When he goes to Rockport, he can re-up. So I walked in there, and then I asked for some of that 12-year that you was telling me about. And they said, okay. The dude said, man, I can put you on a list.
Oh.
I said, dude, I ain't going to be back. I said, it's cool. Don't put me on a list because this is like a one-time thing for me. And I'm just going to come here to go get a bottle of Blanton or 12-year.
3.5 hours to get a bottle of whiskey.
Please. I'll go to a closer liquor store.
Right.
So I just settled for Crown Royal Black, got Ted to the Jack Daniels Black, and come on back. And that's when my baby girl was coming out of HEB, a pushing and a pulling, 2 grocery carts full of stuff. And I just swooped in like a damn hero, said, I got you, baby.
People were pretty irritated with me getting out of the store because I was pulling and pushing 2 carts, and they're like,
I was right there. It's perfect timing, baby. So we go over there to the SUV, I pop the hatch, and we start loading in groceries. And we'd
already been to Trader Joe's, mind you.
Yeah, she'd already been to Trader Joe's. And then
got 4 cases of water.
She had to come sign some paperwork over at the gun shop. So then we went to the HEB together. So we already had a bunch of shit, already loaded into the SUV. Started packing that water in. And you got to remember, people that know a little bit about my history and my career and my life know that I used to work on a freight dock. I used to load trucks for a living. So we're loading up that SUV just like it's a truck, cubing it out. And I had that water all stacked nice and pretty. Got the heavy stuff on the back. Got the lighter stuff on top. You see what I'm saying, Teddy? Teddy just smiling and shaking his head. He's like, this motherfucker knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, but you forgot about when I was checking out, the lady said, you must have a lot of kids.
No, she said, you must have a lot of people in your family.
Yeah.
And I told you the response was, yeah, there's 3 of us. The other 2 are a lot bigger than me. It's like, hey, man, when you live 90 miles from a grocery store, you buy a bunch of shit and put it in your freezer.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all know that I don't do any podcast without taking Alpha Brain first. So thanks to Onnit, the fine folks who make Alpha Brain and who also make emulsified MCT oil. I know you guys are hearing a lot about MCT oil these days, and for good reason. It's one of the fastest sources for clean fuel for the body and the brain. It's one of the best ways to power up your performance or kickstart a weight management program too. And the secret behind MCT oil is the medium-chain triglycerides. These beneficial fats support a healthy brain and provide a vital source of energy. And, of course, no one is doing emulsified MCT oil like Onnit. It comes in 3 great flavors: coconut, vanilla, and strawberry. And here's the best part. It mixes easily into your morning coffee or afternoon iced tea without using a blender. Stir it in with a spoon and you're good to go. So there's no mess up, no cleanup, and that means Onnit's emulsified MCT oil is a no-brainer. You can also mix it into oatmeal or yogurt. And right now, if you go to onnit.com/Steve, you can get Onnit's emulsified MCT oil for 12% off. And because it's on it, if you don't like it for any reason, you can get all your money back, no questions asked. So you ain't got nothing to lose. Go get yourself some emulsified MCT oil at onnit.com/Steve and take advantage of the 12% off. That's ONNIT.com/Steve.
What do you believe? Would you have had the courage of Muhammad Ali to take on the government based on principle? Or could you find the resolve of Tommy Smith and John Carlos and raise your fist in defiance? Would you have been tough enough to hold your sisters down like Billie Jean King? I'm Chris Webber. Join me every Tuesday on my podcast, Fearless or Insane. We'll discuss sport, athletes, and their impact on society, politics, and culture. Download on PodcastOne, PodcastOne.com, and iTunes.
Our next stop was Tractor Supply because we needed some zip ties and some wasp spray. The wasp spray story will come into play later in the podcast. And we also needed this, like a galvanized bucket or a rubber bucket. When you're cleaning deer in a deer station, you just need big buckets. So go to the Tractor Supply store, and they got one galvanized bucket. And it's bigger than the ones we're used to.
It's the size of a jacuzzi.
Yeah, it's the size of a jacuzzi. I wanted a smaller size. And so then I'm eyeing the other rubber buckets over there across the way about 10 yards, and they're a little deep. And so if you understand a cleaning station situation, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, and the funny part, you trying to FaceTime Teddy.
Well, that's what I'm getting to, baby girl. Damn, you gonna fuck up my damn punchline. So, you know what? I got to have another guy's opinion on this because I'm fixing to make a $20 purchase, and that's $20 out of my pocket that I treasure very highly. So I said, man, let me call Ted. So let me call Ted. And now, fuck it. I'll FaceTime Ted. Now, here's the thing. Guys don't FaceTime guys.
No.
I ain't never FaceTime Ted. I told Ted, I'm trying to look at these fucking tubs.
He didn't answer, of course, because he's like, it must be a button.
Yeah. The motherfucker didn't answer me. The first time I FaceTimed him, so I said, let me call the motherfucker. Hello, on the first ring.
Dude, I thought it was a missed dial. You FaceTime.
God damn it. Fuck, man. I could have been on the side of the road with the blowout, stranded with my baby girl.
Fuck, I thought you missed me. I mean, you guys have been away for 5 hours. Yo, dude, what are you doing? I'm just chilling. Yeah. What are you thinking about?
Chris said, no, he's probably out in the field working. I said, no, motherfucker, he got damn cell service right there at the crib because he's watching the dogs. He did a bunch of shit here at the house. But I said, hey, man, I'm going to FaceTime you. I said, all right. So this time he picked up. And when we looked at each other, it kind of fucked up because I spent a lot of time with Ted, but when I seen his face on my phone, it fucked me up. How'd you feel? Ted still got PTSD.
That's only about the second or third time I've ever FaceTime. And when I did it, you know, I held the phone down too low, and I was like, God damn, you can see right up my nose. You know, so yeah, I'm like, boy, that's appealing. You know, yeah, so I'm like, you know, holding it up, you know, going, keep my head down. I'm more self-conscious.
You're doing that Steven Seagal shot.
Yeah, I'm more self-conscious about how I look, you know, on the camera there.
Yeah.
Right? Because it just makes you feel that way.
So anyway, I hit the reverse button. So I said, Teddy, follow me here. I said, look down at this bucket right here. There was a galvanized motherfucker. Something about 3 feet across. I said, it's between this galvanized one or it's between that rubber one. Hang on, let me walk over here. I walk across the Tractor Supply. I said, this one right here. I said, he goes, I like that rubber one, but it looks a little deep. I said, man, yeah, I think it looks deep too because, you know, when you put that, it's just not going to be, it's going to be too tall.
Correct.
So I said, galvanized? He goes, yeah, get the galvanized. So I already told the guy because we needed 2 of them because we have 2 cleaning stations for 2 deers to be cleaned at the same time. So I wanted 2. Ours are wore out. You could see daylight in them. They leak everywhere. I said, dude, you got another one of these galvanized buckets? He goes, that's the only one I got. I'm thinking,
enough for putting a lot of people in.
God damn it. I said, we at the Tractor Supply store. All I want is 2 galvanized buckets, some wasp spray, and some zip ties.
But at least he didn't try to put you on a list like the guy at the liquor store. You know, when we get another bucket in, Mr. Austin, we'll ring your phone.
Yeah.
We'll FaceTime you.
Yeah. When I swing by to get my whiskey in San Antonio, I'll come in to get my gut bucket at the Tractor Supply. That's a good idea. Thank you, kind sir. But here's the thing. We roll up in the Tractor Supply, and the motherfuckers there was in less of a hurry than the people at the H-E-B. I mean, they was really leaning on that cart. And I'm like...
No one's in a hurry at that.
The one dude pulled over like to look at a pocket knife or something like that. And I bumped his cart. I said, "Excuse me, dude." And I hit his cart so hard, I grabbed it to steady it. And you can see by the look in my eyes that I had a belly full of breakfast tacos, but I was in a hurry.
He was in a hurry to get back over to Cancun to get lunch, okay?
Oh, shit.
well,
I'm like, we can't go to the same restaurant twice.
Sure you can.
I told her on the way back, man, we was hauling ass going about 96. She'd been telling me, "Look, Teddy, is my right eardrum look like it's swole up because, goddamn, she been yelling, slow down. I'm going to have cauliflower ear by the time this motherfucking trip is over." Son of a bitch. I said, "Well, you know what?" I said, "I'm hungry. We got to stop somewhere and get something to eat." I said, "You want to go back to Cancun?" Because we had breakfast tacos.
Well, and I'm like, I'm not really hungry yet.
What are you laughing at?
Next time you guys go to driving to San Antonio, you're going to pull out your shooting ears. Like, dude, what are you doing? I'm taking Kristin to San Antonio. Oh, I see.
I'm putting on my earmuffs.
He did buy some more at the gun shop today, actually.
Anyway, Kristin says, "Well, I'm not really hungry." And I said, "Well, listen, eating twice a day and drinking a half gallon of whiskey a day ain't working for me. I got to eat a few more meals." And so, like, you know, when you're out here in South Texas and you first get together, me and Ted on a little bit of a run here, looking a little bit haggard, but we're having a good time. And I told him the other day, I said, "Man, we got to slow down." So I told Kristin, I said, "Ain't no way that I'm going to make it another 75 miles into Tilda and get here to the ranch and be starving." I said, "No, I'm going to get something to eat." I said, "We can go to Sonic drive-thru or we can go to Cancun." She goes, "Well, why don't we just go in and sit down?" And I said, "Yeah, baby girl." I said, "We can go in."
I said, "I'm kind of thinking I might be hungry after all."
So anyway, we order, and I get my trademark meal. Just 3.
So we both have to use the bathroom. That's why we went in there.
No, I love Mexican food. It's my favorite food in the world.
But that's a good restaurant.
My trademark meal is 3 beef enchiladas, beans and rice, refried beans, and 3 crispy beef tacos a la carte. That's what I order every single time.
Every single time.
So we go in there, and as soon as the lady comes, I said, "We're ready."
She didn't even have her little order pad. She had to use a paper towel to write her order down.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man. So don't even, I wasn't worried about the presentation, the chips, the salsa, asked if we wanted drinks or nothing.
Yeah.
And when she brought the iced teas, I mean, it was almost like, it was bigger than a Big Gulp from 7-Eleven.
It was huge.
Those, styrofoam cups. I'm like, God damn. I was thirsty. Goddamn, it's thirsty. And all of a sudden, man, chips were good. Our food was good. I'm sitting there thinking.
I got the chalupas.
Well, she gets her trademark order, the bean and cheese and tomatoes and lettuce chalupas.
Yeah.
And if you're in England, who have so many fans over there in Scotland and Ireland, all the people that are watching Broken Skull Challenge now on Dave TV, they go, "Well, what the fuck is a chalupa, Steve?" I'll tell you what a chalupa is. A taco is a shell that's shaped like a U, so you can put some meat and stuff and shit on it and eat it. A chalupa is basically a flat shell that you stack shit on, and you can eat it.
Yeah.
It's a taco without the U shape. It's a flat taco. How's
But
that?
it's the only vegetarian thing that they have there that I like.
Yeah, when you're a vegetarian.
Yeah.
So you just love your chalupas.
It's actually vegan because there's cheese on it. Never mind.
So she mowed through those first two. What do you call
Yeah, and
them?
I said, meanwhile, I wasn't hungry. I said, I think I can eat all 3 of these today.
Because normally she'll take one to go. And she goes, "I'm thinking about getting this to go." She goes, "You know what? I think I can eat this other one today." And I'm sitting there like, okay, eat that
tapping his
motherfucker
fingers,
so we can
he's
get
ready
back
to
on the
pay.
road. Maybe I'm going to get a chance to go hunting. So anyway, we paid up there and got on the way home. And then she
Did 105.
Well, man, here's the thing. If you've ever been through Tiller in South Texas or, single-lane roads, and they open up into a 2-lane passing area, those passing lanes only last for maybe about a mile two sometimes. So you got to make you move.
Correct.
So goddamn, there was a car way the fuck up there in a left-hand lane, mind you.
So he decides 125 is more like it. He wants to pass every car before we can get to the single-lane highway again.
If they're in my eyesight, I'm going to catch them, so I might as well hammer down and get those motherfuckers in my rearview mirror so I ain't got to wait for the next passing lane to get them. Do you understand what I'm saying, Teddy?
You can only draft a car for so long before you got to pull out, slingshot around them, and hammer down.
My man, we're back to green flag racing. Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
I mean, I said like Kristin. I'm not looking at the end of that hood and driving. I'm looking down the road, baby. I'm taking it all in. I'm driving way down there.
And
if something happens up close,
60 when I'm on that road.
Oh, god damn.
I just take my time, amble along.
You know what? She's good if I stay about 85 is her comfort zone. But
90 and above is just a little bit much.
Oh, if you ain't first, you're last. Little Ricky Bobby.
Let me look at the damn meter here. Said we got about 27 minutes in here. I'm about to take a pause for the calls and go get me another Broken Skull IPA. Just put one up in the freezer. What else happened today that was of merit, Kristin? Anything?
You ordering the breakfast tacos this morning?
Yeah, god damn it. I don't know why you're ragging me so much. They got the order right, didn't they?
They did. It's just watching you get prepared to order breakfast tacos.
Here's the thing. I'm rolling down the road, and so Kristin's, she's riding shotgun. So you know you're riding shotgun.
Of course I'm running shotgun.
Well, if you're riding shotgun, you're either navigating or you handling food. You know, so she wraps up my breakfast tacos or puts sauce on them, hands them to me. You know, I'm riding down the road. Sometimes I'm driving with one knee. Sometimes I got one hand on the steering wheel. I'm feeding my face or grabbing a swig of water if I need to wash that breakfast taco down. And then so we do that. I said, you know, we're going to stop at Cancun to get some drive-thru. And she goes, well, maybe I want to go in. I said, well, you know, we've already talked about that, but I said, we could get it to go. She goes, Steve, you can eat breakfast tacos and drive, but how are you going to eat enchiladas and tacos and drive? I said, God damn, I've done it 1,000,000 times. She goes, well, you ain't going to do it with me in the car. I said, all right, we're going to pull over. So that's how that happened.
And it was very nice.
What a moment that was. God damn. Well, we've been together 12 years. We sat there holding hands across the table. I'm just kidding. We don't hold hands in public.
Drinking tea.
I don't think we hold hands in private.
Boy, that tea was delicious.
Yeah. God damn, I always hate when I hate when you go to a restaurant and the only option is a sweet and low. With all due respect to the sweet and low people, I'm a Splenda kind of guy. But they don't give you no option. What's the other one in the blue?
Equal.
Okay, equal. Equal's cool. Sweet and low's cool, but I like some options. I like to see a pink, a blue, and a yellow option. That's just me. Am I wrong? Because I'm not going to use straight sugar. Straight sugar to me like crack cocaine.
They don't even have it there anymore.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even use sugar no more. They done gone to the substitutes.
Correct.
But Teddy, if you got a choice of substitutes, which one are you going to pick?
Man, I'm a Truvia guy.
God damn it. I'm throwing my goddamn microphone down. You got to be shitting me.
Going off the grid there.
God damn.
Yeah.
A fucking what?
Truvia. Yeah.
What about the stevia stuff?
I think it's along the same lines, isn't it?
Or the Truvia.
Yeah.
Well, now you pulled that one out of fucking left field. Tell me how you got on the Truvia.
Because somebody told me that the sweet and low in the pink package was bad chemicals for you.
Aspartame.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
however you pronounce it. Aspartame.
Did I do enough shit?
Aspartame me, aspartame you, aspartame everybody. Okay. Now hold on. Now, out of all this shit that I seen you do, all the liquor I consume with you, and now all of a sudden you're gonna be concerned about your health through some bullshit. You're gonna put some iced tea.
A pack that I put in my coffee in the morning, man. That's you got to start the day right, man. You got to start the day right. Yeah, it's gonna go off the rails later, but as long as I start it right by using the right stuff in my coffee, I feel good about myself. Okay,
I'm glad you're feeling good about yourself, but you've been on the road to go to all these softball tournaments, shit like that, or construction jobs. Truvia is usually not an option that's available. So what do you do when it ain't Truvia?
Dude, I order sweet tea.
Oh,
Let
God
'em-
damn it.
It's a mystery what they put in. Fuck you. I don't want to see what it was. Just bring me what it is now.
No. I can't argue with that because, I mean, it tastes good.
Yeah.
I love sweet tea but I'm thinking there's so much sugar in there. That's why I don't order it. So you just don't give a fuck. You just go and take the sugar calories.
Yeah, but I offset that by drinking Diet Coke with my Jack. So, see, there is a method to my madness. You know, we rob from Peter to pay Paul, that type of deal.
Well, did you ever look at the ingredients? Are you talking about Zero Coke or Diet Coke?
I used to drink Zero Coke, but
I used to drink Zero Coke.
Yeah.
I still do, but I used to too. Mitch Hedberg. Sorry about that.
I was like, what the
Me
hell
and
are you
Kristin loved it.
Yeah.
And Mitch Hedberg goes, I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too.
Did I drink Diet Coke?
Diet Coke and Jack. Mm-hmm. Dude, you'll notice how health conscious I've been lately. Wait, what the fuck you laughing for?
Yeah, dude, I felt that every morning for last week.
But I've been drinking Crown Black with a splash of water. Now, you know, in the old days, Teddy, it was Zero Coke and Crown. Not a whole lot of Zero Coke, but there was an additive. Before I started adding the water, that was just straight up whiskey.
Yeah, dude, I saw that fucking cauldron you were drinking out of. Yeah.
Dude, the last few nights, I said, dude, you gotta start adding some water to this shit. I mean,
get your water in.
I'm timing this shit out. I'm like, okay, it's November 28th. We got a whole nother month this shit. I don't know how much I can hang on. I used to make a living doing this shit when I was a pro wrestler, but now I'm retired. I'm a civilian. Yeah, so I got to back off a little bit. So I just throw fucking excuse me, Kristin, throw just a little cotton hair water on top, and bam.
Bam.
Ready to go. Bam. We're going to take a pause for the cause, a word from sponsors to keep this show on the air for free twice a week,
But
delivering
you forgot
audio
my
with us.
pet peeve.
What's that?
When they put lemon in your iced tea.
Oh, you want to talk about a pet peeve before we go on a break?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me why we don't like, and while you're doing this, I'm going to go
Does
grab that broken...
anybody add lemon to their water or their iced tea?
Well, but that's the thing to do. I mean, it's kind of like a garnishing because, yeah,
Does
to your
anybody
point.
use it?
But I think it's the old romantic or the old farm tradition of, you know, like when you see the commercial of the tea, they got a bunch of fucking lemons floating in it. Nobody does that shit.
Teddy,
Was this when you guys went in to sit down?
Yeah.
Fuck, maybe they thought you were on a date. You know?
No, dude. When you go to a restaurant, and like even when we go to a sushi restaurant,
They always put lemon in the water.
when they bring the iced tea, they bring that fucking stick with the lemon hanging across top of it. And they know now that when we go in there, and we go there once to twice a week in Los Angeles, we don't use no lemons in our iced tea, so they don't bring them. But here's the reason. Well, first of all, I don't give a
there's
shit
a good
about the
reason,
taste, but
too.
what's our reason?
Because it has a lot of germs.
Bacteria and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like when people order those fruit cups and stuff like that, dude, that's a mecca or a haven for bacteria and stuff to grow. So a lot of those people, when they think we're going to get them in fruit cups, they're doing themselves some good, but they might be fucking themselves up. Ted looking at me with this perplexed look on his face.
Elaborate on that.
No, Google up, is fruit cups healthy or whatever.
Or the lemon on your water.
It's a breeding ground for bacteria.
Was that because everybody said they're...
No. It's just because once they cut it up, I mean, for some reason.
I don't know if people probably don't even wash those.
Yeah, dude, it's
They still have the label
putting
on
yourself
them
in
when they
harm's
get
way.
out.
Before we came out here to Texas, I've been eating a lot of apples. And we got one of those gimmicks that you put on top of the apple, and you push it down, and it makes it into a bunch of slices. That's the only way to eat an apple, and the core stays in the middle.
In the middle, right.
That's why we ain't got to fuck around. So anyway, I always wonder, every time I get those apples, who's the motherfucker putting all the stickers on these things? And why is the sticker so important? They got one guy or one gal putting stickers on all the apples.
I think they grow with the apple, though.
Shit. I want to grow someone, make up a genetic or whatever you call it, for a sticker-free apple. Because then you got to take the time to always peel that one sticker off, and then you always chink your finger, your thumbnail into the apple.
And you're so lazy that you put them on the windowsill, and it irritates me. He won't throw them away. He'll peel them off. He puts them on the windowsill.
Well, I was trying to build up enough of them so I put them in a recycle bin. Any other pet peeves?
I'm having a hot flash.
All right. Need to take a minute to thank another fine sponsor of Unleashed, and that's Simply Safe. Have you ever been at work or maybe at the gym or out with family and friends and you start to worry that maybe you didn't lock your front door before you left, or maybe you didn't close all the windows? Are you worried that you left your house wide open to any thief who wanted to come in and steal your stuff? If you've ever asked yourself any of those questions, then you need Simply Safe Home Security. And I can't think of a better holiday gift than giving someone a little peace of mind. And right now, Simply Safe is having the biggest holiday sale ever. You can get $200 off Simply Safe's special holiday security package. This award-winning alarm system has everything you need to protect your home. It's got an arsenal of 17 security sensors to secure each door and window. There's a panic button, a blaring extra siren, and a wireless connection to authorities and police dispatch so your family, your home, and everything in it stays safe around the clock. This system is usually $600. But right now, you can get it for just $400 when you go to simplysafeaustin.com. This is the biggest deal Simply Safe has ever offered. Plus, there's no long-term contract, no installation cost, and no hidden fees. So go to simplysafeaustin.com now to get your $200 off this special holiday security package. That's simplysafeaustin.com. simplysafeaustin.com. If you're in the market for a car, then you need to check out TrueCar.com and the TrueCar app. TrueCar makes car buying easy, no matter if you're looking for a brand new or a used vehicle. There are over 500,000 pre-owned vehicles available from TrueCar certified dealers nationwide, and there are over 11,000 TrueCar certified dealers. And TrueCar lets you get upfront pricing information on new and used vehicles and lets you see what other people paid for the car you want so that you feel confident you're getting a fair price. With TrueCar and their TrueCar pricing curve, you see what other people paid for the car and you lock in your guaranteed savings. Then you can connect with the local certified dealer of your choosing, take them your TrueCar guaranteed savings certificate, and make your car buying experience quick and easy. Once you register at TrueCar, you'll also be able to access all of the local TrueCar certified dealers' available incentives before you arrive at that dealership. Over 2 million cars have been sold to TrueCar users by the TrueCar certified dealer network. And TrueCar users save an average of over $3,000 off MSRP. So when you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit TrueCar.com or download the TrueCar app to enjoy a better car buying experience. Some features not available in all states. All right, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Appreciate our sponsors. Keep the show on the air for free. One of the trio has taken a bathroom break. So myself and Teddy are sitting here. He's in a bar stool. I'm still standing here. My wife always gets mad that I stand so much. I'll sit in my lazy boy chair here in the house and I watch TV, but a lot of times I just stand around, and it bothers her. Teddy, does it bother you that I stand so much?
No.
You ever think about it?
I don't give it a second thought, no.
I was standing when I FaceTimed you today.
Yeah, that much I got as you're walking through the store, yeah.
Hey, you got any good stories? Because I can bust out in a Yellow Jacket story unless you got something that you can lay in there. I've been flapping my gums since we hit the record button.
Man, the funniest thing that's happened thus far, because we haven't really, embarked in too many adventures, when I was aging that deer and I had my phone in my pocket.
Oh, man. So I took a deer in the field, and the deer was at the cleaning station. And the way you age a white-tailed deer, well, you age them on the hoof by their body shape, their size, their weight, and the way they look, the color of their hair, everything. But you also, once you put one on the ground, can put your finger, Teddy, explain this?
Yeah, put your finger in their mouth and feel of their back molars, specifically 4, 5, and 6, and you can tell by the wear on the inner cusp, approximately how old, well, really, that's the best way,
Well, and it goes back to my podcast a week or two ago with Macy Ledbetter talking about the teeth wearing down in a deer, because as a deer eats the browse and the stuff, whether it's the brush or stuff off the ground, there's sand, grit, dirt, that's the thing that wears the teeth down. So based on years of a deer, they have created these little things. We have a bunch of them on a ring that show you like 1.5, 2.5, all the way up to 7, 8.5 of what their teeth should feel like. I've never been particularly good at that method. Teddy is. So anyway, I had taken a deer. He was, go ahead, you tell the story. You were doing, but this is how you age a deer after he's been taken.
Yeah, and I'm so squirrely about bugs and shit like that anyway. I've got my phone in my pocket or the pocket of my shorts, so it's on the outside of my leg, and I bent down, and I was talking to you, and I grabbed that deer, and I stuck my finger in its mouth and started feeling of its teeth. And about that time, Kristin sent me a text message to tell me she'd let my dogs out to take a leak. And I still had my phone on vibrate. And that thing went to vibrate, and it scared the dog shit out of me because I just put my finger down. This thing's, it expired long ago. But I got this, vision in my head that, that thing's going to clamp down his last-ditch effort. He's going to bite the shit out of my finger. And that phone goes off, and, man, I jerk my hand back, and I stand up. I'm like, whoa! And you looked at me and started laughing, and I was like, ooh. I pulled the phone out. I'm like, God damn it, Kristin sending me a text.
it's like goddamn, it's like something like if you kill a snake or a shark or something, like you can still bite you up to 2 hours later.
Yeah.
What's that old gimmick? Which animal is that?
The rattlesnake.
No, that's a shark.
Shark. Yeah.
The
motherfucker's laying there dead. Been dead for 2 hours. All of a sudden, someone's gonna be stupid enough to stick his head in. Hey, let me look around. Chomp. Hey, what happened? He was looking in the shark's mouth. He got bit, but the shark is dead. How did he know when to bite? Yeah. So, how does that happen?
Dude,
you know what? It's because it's just a twitch. It's a twitch, and that twitch on a shark, on a great white. Say you got a 15-foot great white shark here, and some idiot sticks his head in there, and over there goes that twitch, and that chomp.
Yep. It's like you touch a nerve or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could,
He jumped back like a motherfucker. I said, God damn, dude, what's up with that? I thought about FaceTiming you.
Yeah, 6'5", 250, and I'm afraid of that. It's like, you're really... God damn, at least I didn't jump on the hood of the Bronco or the roof of the Bronco.
Yeah, but the rattlesnakes do that too. After you chop their heads off, right? They can still bite.
Yeah, their body keeps...
Well, I'm not dumb enough to just pick up the chopped off rattlesnake heads. Hey, let me fuck with this.
Yeah, here, let me age it.
Yeah, let me touch these things.
How old is that rattlesnake, Steve? Hold on, let me see. Oh! God damn it. Hey, one of the things that was happening out here before Teddy made his way out here, Teddy's been working all of the weeks up to deer season, mowing, filling feeders, everything, fixing shit, what he does. But also, so we got to, when you get, the deer stands out here are made out of, what are they made out of, aluminum?
Just aluminum.
Tin?
Yeah, aluminum.
Anyway, so we got these deer stands out here, and they're big-ass stands. Most of them are 4x6. That's a big-ass deer stand. And I grew up, most of the stuff I grew up hunting out of was, shit Dad made in our backyard, 2x4s and plywood,
right.
A one-man unit. You just barely get a steel chair in. And that's how you hunted. Well, technology spun up a little bit, and deer stand's a little bit different these days. A lot of people in Canada, Alberta, Calgary, they'll pack in the woods and they'll just, sit at the base of a tree. Whatever is your method. Back in Georgia, when I lived in Atlanta, hunting with Paul Orndorff and Rick Root, we used those climbing tree stands. God damn, those motherfuckers are dangerous. Did you ever use one of those?
I use the ladder stands, not the climbers.
Yeah, but the ladder stands is just, I'm just not a fan. But I use the climbers, but a lot of people... You get fucked up using those. I don't want to put a kibosh on the climbing stands. So back to my story. The thing is, these metal stands are cool. And they got these sliding, they're not cool. They're metal stands that you sit in. And we have these office chairs in there. It sounds like this is all custom executive hunting. It ain't. It's hotter than fuck out here. I've had these office chairs for 12 years or 9 years, however long we've had this place. So you got the sliding windows, but they're not yellow jacket proof. Well, we've got 8 or 9 of those damn stands out here, and the yellow jackets just absolutely love them because yellow jackets are smarter than you think. My wife asked me the other day, she says, why aren't the deer stands yellow jacket proof? I said, damn. I said, they're pretty good stands, but they're not airtight. If you're a fucking yellow jacket and you're out here in the middle of nowhere in South Texas, like, hey, I want to get out of the elements. If I have a choice of building my WASP on a limb on a tree or inside a deer stand where I'm out of the weather, I'll probably choose the deer stand, and so they do. So
there's something prehistoric about those wasps. They're not like normal little bees that people think yellow jacket.
Well, I mean, the yellow jacket is a whole different animal than the honeybee. But anyway, back to the yellow jacket.
These things are huge.
Yeah, but with the yellow jacket will sting your ass. Well, honeybee can too, but you can't go, hey, what happened? I got bit by a honeybee. but if you say, God damn it, motherfucking yellow jacket, that red wasp lit my ass up.
Yeah.
Hornet, bumblebee. You can't bitch about a honeybee.
Yeah, but in L.A., when you have a yellow jacket, it's a smaller bee.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
These things are gigantic.
Well, I think the yellow jacket's been in the protein feeders.
I was going to say, yeah.
God damn, these motherfuckers are stout. And when you crunch them, they got a real crunch to
and
them.
I don't like to crunch them.
They're like eating a bunch of Rice Krispies in a bowl for breakfast.
God.
So anyway, one of the things that we got to do out here before we unlock the blinds, and boy, since the yellow jacket's in there, we got a lot of wasp spray, and we got cans and cans of it in the barn. Well, we used to, but we used to too. That's why I was at Tractor Supply today buying more, because I'd already went to there's a deer stand out here called Motel 6, and out of all the deer stands we got out here, Motel 6. Hey, these motherfuckers check in. I ain't leaving the lights on for them, but for some reason they love that deer stand.
And they don't check out.
Oh, man, first day I rolled out here. I was in my Kawasaki Mule, rolled up. I knew what was about to happen. I was about to engage in war. And I opened the damn door. And the door you got to jerk it open because this deer stand fell over in a high windstorm one time and it messed up the door. And so you want to open up the door real smoothly so you don't, alarm the yellow jacket, but when it kind of pops open the way it does, Teddy, the Art's like, hey, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
So I pull that fucking door open, and there we go. And it's like an old Western movie. I'm like a goddamn gunslinger rolling into town, busting open the saloon doors, and here they come. And it's like a fucking epic. I'm like a gunslinger. I got a can. I don't know what kind of wasp spray we use, but just standing here flat-footed, it probably spray about a 15-foot stream.
Right.
Now, the wind's blowing a little bit, so you got to be careful because when the wind blows back, it blows right on your fucking eyes. And you don't want to breathe it either, and it gets all over your skin. So, man, I bust open that goddamn door, and those fucking yellow jackets come at me. And it's a fight to the death. It's either them or me. And I'm spraying these motherfuckers, trying to get them in their masses, boy. And then all of a sudden, the solos start coming in, and you're starting to go dry a little bit. And I'm on a 6-foot pedestal because that's how, the platform is 6 feet high. And I'm spraying the fuck out of them. And by the time it's all said and done, the smoke is cleared, the dust is settled. Austin with the victory over the Yellow Jackets. I've wiped out an entire nest, probably, give me a number, Ted, of how many Yellow Jackets you think are in Motel 6 when you start to try to kill them.
At any given time?
Yeah.
Between 75 and 150.
Oh, my God.
You're light on 75, but you're getting there close to on a 150 number. So there was about 150. I think it was having a family reunion. I think there was 200. And plus, this is my podcast. I think there was 250 of them.
It's Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah. Visitors from out of town.
Goddamn. So anyway, I killed them all dead, right? And some of them flying overhead. They're mad and shit because, I just killed all the relatives.
Right.
So anyway, we're shooting. 2 weeks in, or 1 week in, 10 days in. So you'd figure, since I killed them all the first time, you'd be done. Well, my nephew came down the other day, and I said, go sit at Motel 6 and tell me what you see. And he goes over to Motel 6, and he sends me a text message. Steve, I can't get in. They're Yellow Jackets. And I'm thinking, I just killed those motherfuckers the other day. How can they come back? Did they come back from the dead? Is this a nerve reaction? Are they just, what's going on? No. The other Yellow Jackets had moved in.
That's what you said to me yesterday when I went to the deer stand, because I'm like, I'm not going to the deer stand with a bunch of Yellow Jackets. I get in there, and there's a bunch of Yellow Jackets, and I don't like bugs.
Yeah,
period.
so because I'd asked her, I said, are you going to go out or not? And she goes, well, there's too many Yellow Jackets out there. I said, no Yellow Jackets, I killed them all, especially at the deer stand that you're going to.
No.
But when it's hot, here's the thing.
I sat in that hot box for 2 hours because I was not going to open the windows to get more yellow jackets in
It's
there.
like Cool Hand Luke. I mean, when they put him in the box. So anyway, just the other day, I go to Motel 6. I'd seen a big deer that I was going to hunt. The deer was 7.5 years old. He needed to be taken, and I was going to go hunt Motel 6. And I'll be goddamn. I roll up. I got. Did I take Hershey or not?
No.
No, I didn't take Hershey. So I roll up to the deer stand, and I'm like, as I'm about to walk up, I got my gun, I got my backpack, I got an extra shirt. I got so much shit. My backpack weighs about 100 pounds. I used to go hunting with just a gun. Now I got like a fucking backpack with all this shit in there. Camera, video camera, flashlight, bottle of water. Binoculars. So anyway, I go up there, I look up there, and I can see in the window. You've got sliding windows. They're about 6 inches tall, and they're about 3 or 4 feet long, and they slide on a track. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was just here yesterday. There wasn't no yellow jackets in, and they're here now. Why?
You need to rename it Hotel California.
Hotel, you can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave. So I'm thinking, what the fuck? And I take a step back, Teddy, and I'm like, well, this is real interesting because, one, it's hotter than fuck out here in South Texas right now. And so when it's hot, I think it makes the yellow jacket mad. And so there's yellow jackets on the outside trying to get inside, and there's yellow jackets on the inside trying to get outside. So why can't they make up their mind? What the fuck is wrong with the yellow jacket? Why is it so indecisive? But no matter whether it wants in or out, it's mad because it's hot, and you're about to come in there and jerk open that door and really piss it off. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll go back to my mule, and I got an extra can of poison in there. So I lay all my shit on the ground. I walk back 100 yards to my mule. I ain't got no poison. Okay, I'm in the closest deer stand to the compound. I'll go drive to the barn and get some poison. No, I think the last 2 cans was in the mule that Kristin's driving. And it's too far to go back, and I don't want to rustle up anything because I've already come in here halfway quietly. So I'm thinking, all right, Ted had just asked me the other day if I had something in my backpack. Ted, what did you ask me if I had in my backpack?
A pair of leather gloves.
Okay, yes, I told him I did have a pair of leather gloves. Ted, tell me your technique about the leather gloves and why you asked if I had them.
When I go and hunt Motel 6, I get in there and sit down and just sit there and chill, for a minute. And then once I put on my leather gloves, once the yellow jackets kind of slow down and land on the walls, I'll reach over and grab them and then crunch them with those leather gloves and then start making a pile of them.
Well, that's exactly what I did, Teddy. Got in my backpack, I put my leather gloves on, and I also got a baseball cap. Got to have a baseball cap when you do battle. I put my gun in the corner. I got all my shit there. And, man, these motherfuckers are mad because here comes this big bald-headed motherfucker with a goatee, and he's interrupting their space. And, man, I went to a whomping and a stomping. Every yellow jacket with the goddamn within arm's reach, and I was beating the fuck out. It sounded like fucking Ringo Starr from the Beatles fucking Neil Peart from Rush playing the drums. I was beating the fuck out of that deer stand. And, hunting, Teddy, is you're trying to be quiet. You're trying to be stealthy. You don't want the deer to know that you're in their front yard. And I'm beating the fuck out of them goddamn wasps, but it's a fight to the finish. And goddamn, I thought I was going to take a hit or two. And, man, I'm in there. It's like you might as well just hit Carl Douglas Kung Fu fighting. Because, man, I was in there hand-to-hand combat. I even bent over and loosened up my hamstrings a little bit, to tell you the truth. God damn it. I fucking karate kicked one in the head. Man, those motherfuckers started coming at me, and I was swatting them and just crunching them up and just running down the rails of those racks and everything, crunching them up. I was like, God damn. Finally, had them all settled down. And so the ones that, a lot of them had run out the windows. And I was like, okay, so I'll just cool now. I'm hotter than fuck. I'm just going to sit here and try to chill out. I'm probably not going to see no deer. But here's the thing, Teddy. Some of the ones that I wasn't able to get to, they escaped through the windows. Cowards. You fucking bastards. You had to run, didn't you? Well, now they won't back in because they want their revenge. Because, Teddy, I had just made it personal. I had killed some of their family members, brothers, sisters, cousins, nephews. I had destroyed their family. As my old buddy Jumpin' Jim Ross would have said to White Meat Babyface from Norman, Oklahoma, by God, that Yellow Jacket had a family, damn it. Well, I just killed their family, so they was mad at me. So then I'm sitting there minding my own business, trying to look at the deer and the feeder, and then all of a sudden here comes one just charging in, like Top Gun, Maverick, requesting to fucking fly by the tower. And they come in, yeah! And when they hit the wall, it's like, God damn it, just unnerving. Like you flinch when that phone went off, when that deer, when that damn, when you're trying to age that deer, it's like, God damn, man, these motherfuckers are crazy.
Steve, why don't you bring your clarinet in there and sing to them? Play your music. Does anybody know he plays the clarinet?
You got a fucking clarinet?
I ain't got no motherfucking clarinet.
Damn it.
God damn it. So anyway, that was my WASP story. Oh, you blew me out of water. I had a couple other punchlines I was going to get to.
Sorry, but
See, dude, I don't swing my hat around in there because for fear of hitting the walls and making too much noise. And yeah, you get them all stirred up, dude. I just sit down. You know, and hope to Christ none of them land on me, you know, because in the dark in the morning, you'll be sitting there and all of a sudden something will crawl across the back of your neck because they're on the chair.
I see them coming through the windowsills.
Yeah, but that's the thing. In the morning, they're sleepy or it's colder or cool, and so they're not as active. But in the afternoon, they're already agitated because it's fucking hot. Yep. I'm agitated because it's fucking hot. And here's the thing. I own this fucking place. I own the land. I own the deer stand. Not only are they trespassing, they're squatting too, and I don't like it. Anybody got something top that?
No, yeah.
Well, you know what I use? I have a thing of hand lotion in my backpack, and I use that to cut them in half. It severs their backs, and I use that to get rid of them.
You use the hand lotion to put on the Yellow Jacket?
No. I use the actual case that comes in.
The container.
Yes.
Oh, because like I killed a couple of Yellow Jackets that's kind of soft. I thought maybe you'd put hand lotion on them.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Sounds like you may need a pocket knife.
I might bring my Windex out tomorrow. I'm going to bring the Windex out tomorrow. I'm going to see what happens.
Windex works on flies. I don't think it'll work on a Yellow Jacket.
Well, somebody said it worked on flies. I'm going to try it on a Yellow Jacket.
I sat in there this morning, wasn't a single one alive.
Where?
Motel 6.
Well, I just killed of them.
Well, they must be mounting a coup because I didn't see any relatives around, so...
Well, I killed them all where you went tonight, so I sat in that hot
there was
box
nothing.
yesterday.
I've been real fortunate thus far. I haven't had to do battle with them, you know.
Well,
if I have to do battle with one, that's one too many.
Okay, got to take care of another great sponsor who makes this podcast possible and who also helps you guys win some serious instant cash every time you play 1 week fantasy football. DraftKings. And if you use my promo code UNLEASHED, you can play for free with your first deposit. Two of my favorite four-letter words, free and cash. Playing 1 week fantasy football means you ain't stuck with the same lineup week after week. And it means you ain't going to be trolling the waiver wire 2 a.m. Sunday morning because you've already wasted too many picks starting Brandon Marshall of the Jets or the Texans' DeAndre Hopkins. It also means that you can take a chance on Titans quarterback Marcus Mariota, who's been hot lately, or the Falcons' Matt Ryan. Any week you play, they're never taken at DraftKings. At DraftKings.com/unleashed, all you got to focus on is how you're going to spend all that cold hard cash you win. And this is a good weekend to give DraftKings.com/unleashed a try because they're hosting another huge fantasy contest with over $100,000 in total prizes up for grabs. So get to DraftKings.com now and choose your players for this weekend's contest. And if you use my promo code UNLEASHED, you can play for free with your first deposit. That's promo code UNLEASHED to play for free for your share of over $100,000 in total prizes this weekend. Only at DraftKings.com. Eligibility restrictions may apply. See website for details. Well, I'll tell you what, and moving on from the Yellow Jackets, here's a story just to maybe wrap up this podcast. Me and Kristin were coming back from getting our groceries, eating a Cancun for 2 meals, and then coming over to drink.
And have the entire car filled to the gills. Go ahead.
Oh, well, yeah, because after we got all our groceries, stopped by Nagel's Gun Shop, Trader Joe's, H-E-B, stopped by the post office, then we stopped by Joe's to pick up our UPS packages. Dude, you should have seen when I put in that big-ass silver galvanized tub in the back seat. on top of everything we'd already put through, I was thinking, if I'm driving down a highway and the sun is shining in the front of my vehicle, it's going to hit that galvanized tube, and it's going to look like a spaceship going down a fucking highway, and someone's going to catch a glare off that and run off the side of the road and hit a tree. It was stupid. So anyway, so I decided, well, it's going to be too late to get into a deer stand. It's going to be hot, and I took that deer the other day, and we're going to put him in the cooler. And Teddy goes over in the barn, and he's going to flip the breaker switch to turn the cooler on. Now you're thinking, well, what's a cooler? Well, for us, a cooler is about, what's that, about 8 by 8?
About 8 by 8, yeah.
Just guessing, it's about 8 by 8 with a bunch of hooks hanging on a rail, and you hang the deer in there. And you could probably get 10, 12 deer, just give or take whatever. But that's how you store the deer to keep the deer meat from spoiling. So I had taken the deer, cleaned the deer, and we were going to put it in the cooler to store. And Teddy goes over and flipped the breaker. Go ahead, Teddy, from here.
Yeah, the fan went on, but the condensing unit did not fire up. The condensing unit has the Freon in it, and that's what, makes the cold. So we're just spinning the fans, and it is staying, outside temperature of a balmy 76 degrees.
So we got this deer hanging there, so I'm thinking, well, a little bit of a dilemma here. But since the cooler was broken and it wouldn't come on, me and Teddy had to quarter that sumbitch up right then and there and put it in coolers. So since the cooler was down, I didn't want to take another deer out of the field until we get the cooler fixed. The guys from South Central Air Conditioning in Jordanton are coming tomorrow to fix our cooler. So I decided, well, rather than sit in a deer stand, you're not going to shoot anything anyway, and it's going to be late, I'll just ride around the property with Hershey the Wonder Dog. So I was riding the fence line, and I'd go to a couple of places. I went over to a place where we see a lot of coyotes. I didn't see any. And I said, well, I'll ride the south fence line, and I'll go over there and just kind of see if I can sneak up on a deer stand and just glass and use my video camera. So I did that. I made it all the way to the south side of the ranch, pulled up to a deer stand, walked. I told Hershey, who was in the back seat of my mule, I said, Hershey, stay. That dog loves to ride with me out here on the ranch. And I saw a buck on the south fence line. Looked like a pretty good deer. And I said, man, see if I can videotape this thing. I started videotaping the deer. And I was wearing camouflage shorts, a dry fit shirt, sleeveless, and flip-flops. The same shit I'm wearing right now as I do this podcast. And my wife tells me all the time, she goes, put on your snake boots. She just ordered me some from...
I just ordered some new ones because you won't wear the lace-up ones.
So anyway, I got some snake boots on the way, and normally what I've been using is just my rubber mud boots. But I was so lazy and ready to get out, I figured, man, I'm not really going to walk up on anything. I'm just going to ride around with Hershey and just look at the ranch, because I just love to drive around and ride around on a mule. And I was standing there, and I was filming this deer, and he was about 120 yards away because I ranged him with my binoculars. And it's really, really dusky dark. I can make out his horns pretty good, and he's not looking at me. He's with two other deer. And I'm standing there in the grass that I just got finished cutting about a week ago. And he starts to walk towards me. He's within 100 yards. He keeps walking towards me. And I'm being still. And here's the thing. He didn't see me then, but all of a sudden he started getting a little bit closer. And all of a sudden he sees a black vertical silhouette because I have a black dry fit shirt on. And that's when he knew something was right. He didn't know that there was a human being there because I had the wind, but he saw a shape that didn't belong there. It's like, Teddy, when we're looking in the brush, if we're looking for deer, we see the brush, vertical stuff, but we're looking for horizontal lines and curves.
It's like when you saw that skunk.
Right.
It's dark, but you can just tell that there is an odd shape, a shape that's not supposed to be there.
Or because you should be there, but it's not the landscape.
Correct. Yeah. And that's a lot of times that's how you first see a deer. You don't see the head, you don't see the horns, you don't see the ass. You see all of a sudden where all of this vertical foliage is. Now you've got a horizontal line, and it's like, man, that looks odd, and you start looking at it, and then it moves.
Yep. So he's got a vertical, black spot in the road, and there I am. He's made me, but he doesn't know what I am, so he cuts across. Man, I'm looking at this deer. I'm starting to video. It's real grainy, and when you're trying to video in low light situations, your camera just goes to shit and doesn't video very good because these are only consumer grade cameras we're using. And I'm standing there in my flip flops. I'm like, I'm kind of moving my feet a little bit. I'm thinking, man, I must be standing in a fucking bed of red ants because my legs are burning. And I'm trying to look down, but it's dark as fuck. I don't figure I'm standing in a red ant bed because I didn't ever notice any red ants there. Well, what it was, I was standing in the grass. And I just mowed the road, but we've had so much rain, we've got so much grass, we haven't wore our roads back in. So what it was, the damn chiggers had crawled up my flip-flops and got on my bare-ass legs and was chewing up my calves. And I was just resolute to try to determine how good this deer was. Those motherfuckers beat my ass to death. I came in the house, and Kristin texted me while I was out there in the field, and she goes, "Where have you been?" So I was out messing around and snuck up on a couple of deer stands. She goes, "Wearing flip-flops?" I said, "Yeah." And the chiggers have fucking ate me to death. So she goes, "Well, you need to go in the shower and shower right now." Because that's the way I get rid of them. I said, "Well, I ain't never showered."
I've never had any problems with them. Every time I come out from the field, I wash and scrub, and I've never had any chiggers.
Yeah, but you never stand out there in flip-flops like me being an idiot. You're smarter because you wear your snake boots and you get in a deer stand. But I'm out there in a pair of flip-flops, just casual attire at best, and those motherfuckers chewed my ass up. So I went there and got in the damn shower. I turned that damn water about as hot as I could stand it and just turned around so I could hit my calves. And my wife came in, she goes, "Here's a scrub brush from your dad's bathroom." Goes, "Use this." So I was scrubbing the shit out of my calves with that scrub brush, and then she'd give me a wash rag, and I was soaping up my damn calves with that wash rag, and then I hit them with that scrub brush. So I figured either I killed them, I either killed the chiggers, or I got the cleanest fucking chiggers that ever bit a human being on my leg, and they're still there. But I learned one lesson, Teddy, and if there's any, I always like to drop a helpful hint on a person if I can in a real-life situation. So here it is. If you're out in the woods and you're deer hunting or you're just out in the woods, don't wear a pair of flip-flops and stand in a bunch of grass or the chiggers will eat your ass. God damn. I will never, ever leave this house again. Now, I'll leave this house and ride the roads in flip-flops because I'm not going to sell out all the way. I'm still stupid.
That's a California deal.
What's California about it?
Flip-flops.
No, I've been wearing flip-flops since I was a kid in Texas.
Nah, California.
Oh, no, you going to tell me that California invented a flip-flop? That sounded like something that's more Hawaiian or something.
Funny, I never saw you in flip-flops before.
How can you say that? We've known each other for 12 years. I've been wearing flip-flops my entire life.
No, tennis shoes.
What do you wear when you play the clarinet?
MeUndies.
Damn, I'm glad I haven't been part of that. Austin's having a recital. Now I'm going to pass.
I cannot believe.
Steve Austin show.
I cannot believe you talking about. I've been wearing. She's just trying to rile me up. I've been wearing flip-flops forever, goddammit. How could flip-flops be a California thing?
It is. Sorry.
I choose not to pursue this any further. I'm going to sign off right now. Teddy.
All right, we will catch your ass down the road. Is that how you say it?
Well, how would I say it in a drive-thru window?
Catch your ass down the road.
Right. All right, I'm Steve Austin. What's my Twitter account? I'm so fucking fucked up. Jesus Christ.
I did such a great
My wife's impression. I think I'm married to Stone Cold Steve Austin. On Twitter and Instagram, I'm Steve Austin BSR. On Twitter and Instagram, he is Ted Fowler 361.
And
Ted,
I am not.
You're not
on Instagram,
on
Twitter,
anything.
or anything else.
Teddy, any parting thoughts of wisdom or wise words to the listeners of said award-winning podcast, which has never won a goddamn thing?
Next Thursday will be a good one.
Okay.
This one is funny. This one is funny.
Wear your snake boots. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
Be
goddamn,
responsible.
go out. But you've always gone out in your flip-flops. Remember that one year there was that rattlesnake in the parking lot by the bar, and you're out there chasing it in your flip-flops?
Yeah, I'm like a mongoose. I'm like a 270-pound crippled mongoose. Go ahead, bite me. I dare you.
270.
Hey, I can't wait for the next Thursday show. I'm going to snort a couple rails of Truvia to really spin it up. All right, everybody, give me the go home cue. It's time to wrap up his podcast and ride off into the sunset. And for me, it's going to mean jumping on my Komodo tractor and going out there and doing some mowing here at the Broken Skull Ranch. Hey, give you guys a video of the week to watch. I was scanning through YouTube, and Tombstone is one of my favorite movies of all time. To me, the whole cast was incredible. Some great heels and some great baby faces. But for performance-wise, Val Kilmer really stole the show in that movie. So I got onto YouTube and typed in Tombstone best scenes. It's going to last about 10 minutes and 9 seconds. So you ain't got to sit there and watch the whole movie Tombstone again if you've already seen it. Especially if you haven't seen it, check out Tombstone best scenes. There's some really good shit in there. I think you'll dig it. Anyway, if you log in and leave a comment, tell them Austin sent you. Anyway, hey man, big thanks to all you guys over there in the UK, Ireland, Scotland, all the different places getting Broken Skull Challenge. Thank you very much for supporting the show. As you know, United States of America, Broken Skull Challenge, 10, 9 Central on CMT every Sunday. This motherfucker's bad. Stay tuned. It's going to blow your socks off. Hey, Black Friday sale going on at ProWrestlingTees.com/Steve Austin. A bunch of new T-shirts. They're all the ones I wore filming the new season of Broken Skull Challenge and all the seasons past. This new season is badass. And like I said, 10, 9 Central on Country Music Television. Black Friday sale going on still at ProWrestlingTees.com/Steve Austin. Hey, man, I'm proud of this damn beer I've been drinking out here at the Broken Skull Ranch. Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA. It's made in El Segundo, California by El Segundo Brewing Company. If you live in Cali, you can find it at Whole Foods and Total Wines. And if you don't live in Cali, you can order it at InsideTheCellar.com and see if they ship to your state. I appreciate y'all supporting the sponsors of the Steve Austin Podcast. They are the ones who let me do this for you free twice a week. So big thanks to DDPYoga.com. Go to DDPYoga.com/Austin to get 25% off the DDP Yoga program and all the DDPY swag. To DraftKings. Go to DraftKings.com and use the promo code UNLEASHED to play for free with your first deposit this weekend. To MeUndies. Go to MeUndies.com/Steve Austin to get 20% off your first purchase. To Simply Safe. Go to SimplySafeAustin.com to get $200 off Simply Safe's special holiday security package. To Onnit. Go to Onnit.com/Steve to get 12% off emulsified MCT oil. And, of course, to Amazon, who have been supporting this podcast since day one. And Amazon is the best place to get the Broken Skull cold steel pocket knife. $75 for the most badass pocket knife on the planet. Damn, what a hell of a Christmas present. Hey, if you order the Broken Skull cold steel knife through my Amazon links, Amazon will kick back a couple of bucks to the podcast. It won't cost you nothing extra. There's no hidden fees or charges. You can buy whatever you plan on buying and help out the podcast in the process. We appreciate that. And you can find my Amazon links by going to PodcastOne.com, clicking on the Killer Deal button in the top right corner of the page, and then hitting the Steve Austin Show button. I got Amazon links for Amazon USA, Amazon UK, and Amazon Canada. So again, go to PodcastOne.com, click the Killer Deals button in the top right corner, and then click on the Steve Austin Show. Bookmark that motherfucker. You can find it easy. Hey, keep listening. The 60-second AP News headlines are coming up next. Until then, my name is Steve Austin.
And we'll catch your ass down the road.
That's my line for the close of the show. And I will catch your ass down the road.
Download new episodes of Steve Austin Unleashed every Thursday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.